1. Microsoft security failings. In a recent and highly concerning development, Microsoft has publicly acknowledged significant security failings that allowed Chinese hackers to gain unauthorized access to sensitive US government emails. This breach, which has been traced back to 2023, underscores the persistent vulnerabilities within even the largest and most technologically advanced companies. The attack was facilitated by a series of sophisticated cyber operations, exploiting weak points in Microsoft's security infrastructure. According to Microsoft President Brad Smith, the tech giant accepts full responsibility for these shortcomings. The admission came during a testimony before the US Congress, where Smith detailed how the hackers were able to infiltrate systems and exfiltrate critical information. This incident is part of a broader pattern of state-sponsored cyber espionage, highlighting the advanced capabilities of Chinese cyber actors. The breach not only compromised sensitive governmental communications, but also exposed the fragility of the digital defenses protecting them. This event has raised alarms about the need for heightened security measures and more robust cyber defenses to protect national security interests. In response to the breach, Microsoft has pledged to overhaul its security protocols, promising significant investments in technology and human resources to bolster its defenses against future attacks. This includes enhanced monitoring systems, more rigorous threat detection and response strategies, and comprehensive audits of existing security measures. The US government has also ramped up its efforts to secure its cyber infrastructure, collaborating with private sector partners like Microsoft to develop more resilient defense mechanisms. This breach serves as a stark reminder of the ongoing cyber threats facing critical infrastructure and the continuous need for vigilance and innovation in cybersecurity practices. As the digital landscape evolves, so too do the tactics of cyber adversaries. This incident with Microsoft is a clear indication that even the most advanced tech companies are not immune to sophisticated cyber attacks, emphasizing the need for constant vigilance, proactive security measures, and robust international cooperation to mitigate these ever-growing threats. 2. Ransomware attack on Ascension. In a significant cybersecurity incident, Ascension, one of the largest healthcare systems in the United States, fell victim to a ransomware attack in early May 2024. The attack, attributed to the Russian-speaking ransomware group Black Basta, disrupted operations across Ascension's 140 hospitals and various other facilities, affecting patient care and access to electronic health records (HR). The ransomware attack began with an employee inadvertently downloading a malicious file, which led to the encryption of critical systems. As a result, healthcare workers had to revert to manual processes, significantly slowing down medical procedures and patient care. This breach has not only impacted daily operations but also raised serious concerns about data security, as ransomware groups typically exfiltrate sensitive data to leverage ransom payments. Ascension has been working closely with cybersecurity experts from Mandiant, Palo Alto Networks, and Cipher to investigate the breach, restore affected systems, and secure their network against future threats. Despite these efforts, the restoration process has been slow, with full recovery expected to take several more weeks. In the meantime, Ascension has advised patients and partners to remain vigilant and has implemented measures to ensure the continuity of patient care. The incident has sparked several class action lawsuits, with plaintiffs alleging that Ascension failed to implement adequate safeguards to protect sensitive health information. These lawsuits claim that the compromised data poses a significant risk of identity theft and fraud, urging Ascension to provide credit monitoring and identity theft protection services to affected individuals. This attack underscores the critical need for robust cybersecurity measures in the healthcare sector, where the consequences of a breach can directly impact patient lives. It also highlights the importance of regular cybersecurity training for employees and the adoption of advanced threat detection and response systems to mitigate such risks in the future. 3. Arid Viper Hackers. In a recent wave of cyber espionage, the Advanced Persistent Threat Apt group known as Arid Viper has been actively targeting Arabic-speaking Android users with sophisticated spyware. This group, also identified as Apt C23, Desert Falcon, and Tag 63, has a history of using deceptive tactics to distribute their malware, often through seemingly benign applications. Arid Viper's latest campaign involves disguising their spyware as legitimate-looking dating apps such as Skipped, Meaty, and Juicely. These apps, once installed, request a multitude of intrusive permissions, allowing the spyware to record audio, capture video, read contacts, intercept SMS messages, and access call logs. The malware also employs sophisticated techniques to hide itself, such as turning off security notifications and disabling system alerts, making it difficult for users to detect its presence. The spyware not only collects sensitive information from victims' devices but can also download additional malicious payloads disguised as popular apps like Facebook Messenger, Instagram, and WhatsApp. This tactic of embedding malware in fake dating apps is consistent with Arid Viper's past honey trap methods, which use social engineering to lure targets into downloading harmful software. Security researchers have noted that the source code of Arid Viper's malware shares similarities with the legitimate dating app Skipped, suggesting either a direct link to the developer or a deliberate attempt to mimic the app's features to enhance their deception. The group's infrastructure includes a network of companies creating similar dating-themed applications, potentially increasing the risk of future malicious campaigns. This ongoing campaign highlights the persistent threat posed by Arid Viper and underscores the importance of caution when downloading apps from unofficial sources. Users are advised to scrutinize app permissions carefully and stick to trusted app stores to mitigate the risk of spyware infections. 4. Operation Endgame. In a major crackdown on cybercrime, international law enforcement agencies have successfully executed Operation Endgame, targeting some of the most notorious botnets and malware distribution networks. This coordinated effort, led by Europol and involving agencies from multiple countries, took place between May 27 and 29, 2024, and has been hailed as the largest operation of its kind to date. Operation Endgame focused on dismantling the infrastructure of several key malware families, including ICD, TrickBot, SmokeLoader, Picabot, and Bumblebee. These botnets have been instrumental in spreading ransomware and other malicious software, infecting millions of systems worldwide and causing extensive financial damage. The operation resulted in the seizure of over 100 servers and more than 2,000 domain names used to control these botnets. Authorities conducted raids in 16 locations, including Ukraine, Armenia, Portugal, and the Netherlands, leading to the arrest of 4 individuals suspected of being high-value targets within these cybercriminal networks. The takedown of these infrastructures is expected to significantly disrupt the operations of the associated malware groups and reduce their ability to launch future attacks. This operation follows another significant action by the U.S. Department of Justice, which involved the arrest of Yunyi Wang, the alleged operator of the 911S5 botnet. This botnet, described as one of the world's largest, facilitated various forms of online fraud and cybercrime by turning computers into internet traffic relays. Europol has emphasized that Operation Endgame is only the beginning, with more actions planned to continue the fight against cybercrime. The operation underscores the importance of international collaboration in addressing the global threat posed by cybercriminal networks. This extensive law enforcement effort sends a strong message to cybercriminals worldwide that their activities will not go unchecked and that authorities are committed to pursuing them across borders and through sophisticated operations. 5. Rockwell Automation Vulnerabilities. In a recent security advisory, Rockwell Automation has revealed several critical vulnerabilities in its FactoryTalk VUC software, which is widely used in industrial control systems. These vulnerabilities, if exploited, could lead to unauthorized access and manipulation of sensitive data, posing significant risks to critical infrastructure sectors such as chemical, energy, and water systems. Among the most severe issues identified are: 1. Improper input validation. This vulnerability allows attackers to inject malicious SQL statements if the SQL database lacks proper authentication. This could lead to exposure of sensitive information and potential modification or deletion of data within the database. 2. Clear text storage of sensitive information. In some versions, usernames and passwords are stored in plain text and RAM, which could be accessed by a local, authenticated attacker. This flaw could enable attackers to gain access to Windows login credentials and other sensitive data. 3. Weak encoding for passwords. The desk lock tool within FactoryTalk VUC uses weak encryption, allowing attackers to decipher user credentials. If these credentials are for an administrative account, attackers could potentially gain full control over the system. 4. Improper restriction of operations. This issue involves memory corruption that could allow local attackers to execute arbitrary code, bypassing security mechanisms within the operating system. Rockwell Automation has recommended users upgrade to the latest version of FactoryTalk VUC version 14.0 or later to mitigate these vulnerabilities. They also advise implementing additional security measures such as enabling built-in security features using IPsec and HTTPS, and following best practices for industrial control system security. These vulnerabilities highlight the ongoing challenges in securing industrial control systems and underscore the importance of regular updates and robust security practices to protect critical infrastructure from cyber threats. 6. CISA's vulnerability additions. The Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency CISA has recently expanded its known exploited vulnerabilities catalog, adding several significant vulnerabilities affecting widely used software platforms such as Android Pixel devices, Microsoft Windows, and Progress Teller Report Server. 1. Android Pixel Vulnerability CVE 2023-1237. This flaw, involving information disclosure, has been actively exploited, potentially as part of an exploit chain used by commercial spyware vendors. The vulnerability allows unauthorized access to sensitive information on Pixel devices, highlighting the critical need for users to update their devices to the latest security patches. 2. Microsoft Windows vulnerabilities. Multiple vulnerabilities in Microsoft Windows have been added to the catalog, including CVE 2023-36033, a privilege escalation vulnerability in the Windows Desktop Window Manager. 6. CISA's vulnerability additions continued. Multiple vulnerabilities in Microsoft Windows have been added to the catalog, including CVE 2023-36033, a privilege escalation vulnerability in the Windows Desktop Window Manager DWM core library. CVE 2023-36025, a security feature bypass vulnerability in Windows Smart Screen. CVE 2023-36036, a privilege escalation vulnerability in the Windows Cloud Files mini filter driver. These vulnerabilities pose significant risks as they allow attackers to gain elevated privileges and bypass critical security features, making it imperative for organizations to apply the necessary updates promptly. 3. Progress Teller Report Server Vulnerability CVE 2019-18935. This .NET deserialization vulnerability has been exploited by advanced persistent threat apt actors to execute remote code on vulnerable servers. The exploitation involves uploading malicious DLL files to web servers, which then allows attackers to take control of the system. This vulnerability underscores the importance of securing web applications and regularly applying security patches to prevent unauthorized access and control. CISA continues to emphasize the importance of addressing these vulnerabilities promptly to mitigate the risks posed by active exploitation. Federal agencies are mandated to remediate these vulnerabilities by specific deadlines, and all organizations are encouraged to prioritize these updates to enhance their cybersecurity posture. 7. AI Risk Summit. The upcoming AI Risk Summit will focus on mastering identity management within a zero-trust architecture. This summit, taking place at the Ritz-Carlton in Half Moon Bay, California, on June 25th to 26th, 2024, aims to bring together security and risk management executives, AI researchers, policymakers, software developers, and influential business and government stakeholders. A key theme of the summit is the critical role of identity management in a zero-trust world. Zero Trust is a security framework that assumes no user or system is trusted by default, requiring continuous verification of identities and strict access controls. This approach is increasingly important as organizations face sophisticated cyber threats that exploit traditional security models. Experts at the summit will discuss practical strategies for implementing zero trust principles, enhancing identity-first security, and leveraging identity threat detection and response (ITDR) technologies. The sessions will cover topics such as automated governance, policy enforcement for machine identities, and the integration of AI and identity management to enhance security protocols. Prominent speakers, including cybersecurity leaders from the Department of Defense, CISA, and other federal agencies, will share their experiences and strategies in adopting advanced identity and access management platforms. These discussions aim to provide attendees with actionable insights into protecting their networks and data in a zero-trust environment. The summit offers a valuable opportunity for professionals to network with peers, industry experts, and government leaders, fostering collaboration and sharing best practices in cybersecurity. By focusing on identity management and zero trust, the AI Risk Summit aims to equip organizations with the knowledge and tools necessary to defend against evolving cyber threats. 8. Microsoft Patch Tuesday. Microsoft's latest Patch Tuesday updates addressed over 50 security vulnerabilities, including 6 critical flaws, across various products such as Windows, Microsoft Edge, and Office. This monthly update cycle is a crucial part of Microsoft's efforts to keep its software secure against the ever-evolving landscape of cyber threats. Among the critical vulnerabilities fixed were remote code execution flaws in Windows Pragmatic General Multicast (PGM) and the Windows Message Queuing service. These vulnerabilities could allow attackers to execute arbitrary code on vulnerable systems, potentially leading to data breaches and system compromises. Another significant update addressed the vulnerability in Microsoft Edge's Chromium-based browser, which could be exploited to gain elevated privileges. Microsoft's commitment to regular updates highlights the importance of timely software patching and maintaining cybersecurity. Users and organizations are strongly encouraged to apply these updates promptly to mitigate potential risks. The security community continues to emphasize that keeping systems up to date with the latest patches is one of the most effective defenses against cyber attacks. 9. AI Risk Summit. The upcoming AI Risk Summit will focus on mastering identity management within a zero-trust architecture. This summit, taking place at the Ritz-Carlton in Half Moon Bay, California on June 25 to 26, 2024, aims to bring together security and risk management executives, AI researchers, policymakers, software developers, and influential business and government stakeholders. A key theme of the summit is the critical role of identity management in a zero-trust world. Zero Trust is a security framework that assumes no user or system is trusted by default, requiring continuous verification of identities and strict access controls. This approach is increasingly important as organizations face sophisticated cyber threats that exploit traditional security models. Experts at the summit will discuss practical strategies for implementing zero-trust principles, enhancing identity-first security, and leveraging identity threat detection and response (ITDR) technologies. The sessions will cover topics such as automated governance, policy enforcement for machine identities, and the integration of AI in identity management to enhance security protocols. Prominent speakers, including cybersecurity leaders from the Department of Defense, CISA, and other federal agencies, will share their experiences and strategies in adopting advanced identity and access management platforms. These discussions aim to provide attendees with actionable insights into protecting their networks and data in a zero-trust environment. The summit offers a valuable opportunity for professionals to network with peers, industry experts, and government leaders, fostering collaboration and sharing best practices in cybersecurity. By focusing on identity management and zero trust, the AI Risk Summit aims to equip organizations with the knowledge and tools necessary to defend against evolving cyber threats. 10. Military-grade cyber defenses. The demand for military-grade cybersecurity solutions is rapidly increasing among regulated industries as they seek to bolster their defenses against sophisticated cyber threats. Industries such as finance, healthcare, and critical infrastructure are adopting advanced security measures traditionally used by the military to protect sensitive data and systems. Military-grade cybersecurity involves implementing robust defense mechanisms, including advanced encryption, multi-factor authentication, and continuous monitoring for potential threats. These measures are designed to defend against state-sponsored attacks, industrial espionage, and other high-level cyber threats that could compromise critical operations. One of the key drivers behind this trend is the rising frequency and severity of cyber attacks targeting these sectors. As cybercriminals become more sophisticated, traditional security measures are often insufficient to prevent breaches. By adopting military-grade solutions, organizations aim to enhance their resilience and ensure the integrity of their critical systems. Additionally, regulatory requirements are becoming more stringent, pushing companies to invest in stronger cybersecurity measures. Compliance with regulations such as the General Data Protection Regulation (GDPR) and the Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act (HIPAA) often necessitates the implementation of advanced security protocols. As a result, there is a growing collaboration between the private sector and defense organizations to develop and deploy cutting-edge cybersecurity technologies. This collaboration aims to bring the best practices from military cybersecurity into the civilian domain, ensuring that critical industries can effectively defend against the evolving threat landscape.